Are we going to go on a hike?
I'd love to.
All right. Where's Buster? Where's Buster? Sam. 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 Where's Buster? Where's Buster? All right. All right, this is just going to be a quick live. I've gotten some criticism for being an asshole on here by fans who are disappointed that I'm an asshole sometimes. What kind of fan doesn't know how do they not know I'm an asshole sometimes? I mean, come on. Are you a real fan or are you not a real fan? That Maron's an asshole sometimes. Hi, Buster. Hello, Buster. Hi. Are you all right? Booster. Are you all right? Am I? Hey. No, I'm not sarcastic. I'm a bona fide asshole sometimes, and I get kind of snippy on here because, as I've explained to you before, I kind of see the scroll of comments as just one stream of consciousness by one fucking confused but relatively snarky, abusive, sometimes horrendous person. But it's not. It's a bunch of individuals. Some aren't even individuals, but that's how I react to it. But this guy was sort of like, yeah, man, it's like, who are you? Who are you, dude? I mean, we hear you on your podcast being so empathetic and open with these guests, and then you get on the IG Live and you're a dick to your fans. So which one are you? It's like, relax, dude. And he was like, I've done a lot of things and, whatever. I got into it with him. And it reminded me sometimes like, yeah, I do resent doing these, but I feel like I want to connect. But then I read a few comments and I get kind of defensive and whatever. But there is no two of me. There's no like that Mark, this Mark. It's Mark that does that and Mark that does this. I mean, there's not some, what is it? It's not true and false, this or that. Same person doing different things. And then I was mad at that guy. And then, anyway, is my nose clean? So look, now they're both out there. Buster. All right, look, I have a guest out on the porch. All right. I'm not going to hang out for too long. But just like, you're going to DM me and ask, like, it's like, why are you an asshole? I mean, it's like, do you know me? I mean, it's like, I do that. This is where I blow off steam. This is where I connect. But see, here's the thing that I realized after he brought it to my attention that maybe I shouldn't do these as much anymore. And I haven't been because I'm doing fucking stand up every night. I don't need to stream a consciousness here like we all did during the pandemic and when nothing was going on. And, when there was like a different type of fear. Now there's additional fear. But whatever the case, I'm engaging with the audience in a different way in the way that I do for my job. So maybe that guy, who's the guy who does stand up? Which Mark is that? There's the Mark that does the podcast, then the asshole that does the IG lives. Who's the fucking cunt who does the stand up? Who's that guy? Yeah. Who is that guy? They're all me. Sorry about the use of the word cunt, but I thought if it was for me, it'd be all right. So anyways, my friend Jerry's over here, and I just got on his Instagram, and I thought like maybe the way to promote it would be like if he was on his Instagram, then he invited me in to his, and then I'd be on the same porch as him, on his Instagram feed, but you guys would have seen that happening. You can stay there. I'm just doing self. I got it all planned. And because Jerry wanted to promote this thing he's doing with Ben Stiller next week and also the new book, but we're going to promote that more as time goes on. So he came over and we did a thing on his Instagram, and I opted not to have him invite me onto his Instagram sitting next to him because that would have been weird. And then I decided to do this. By the way, this is just a portion of the liquid death that's coming. This is the new stuff. And I have not stopped them from doing it. And I have no less than, there's probably, I'd say 40 to 50 cases of this here around the house. So, that's Jerry Stahl. There you go. You're on now. Don't freak out.
I'm not freaking out.
All right.
I have a couple cases of liquid death.
Jerry brought me a watermelon. And it sounds like a pretty good one.
I don't ask for favors. I pay as I go.
This is the, now we'll do what we did on yours here. Mm-hmm. So that's Jerry Stahl. Do you all know Jerry? He's written many books. Many know him for Permanent Midnight. That's the big one.
And for working on your show.
That's right. He worked on my show and he did some big TV show. He's done a lot of stuff. But the point is, he's got this new book coming out. Hold your mirrors up so you can see it. This is 999. It's a memoir kind of that Jerry wrote about. It's basically he's touring concentration camps on a magazine piece article, and he's sort of balancing his own personal problems with the horror of the Holocaust in a very funny way. What's funnier than that?
That is comedy gold. Personal problems.
Let's take on
intense crime of the century.
Yeah.
Tormenting. Gypsies, Jews, Jehovah's Witnesses, political criminals.
Yeah.
Or I have a hangnail.
Yeah, exactly. There's everything comes at me with the same frequency, no matter how big or small.
That is
and you have to
well
sort
put.
it out.
Yeah.
But the book will be out in July. Someone just said from Permanent Midnight and Alf. That's the thing that hangs over Jerry. Can I just tell a quick story, Jerry story, right in front of Jerry? It was one of my favorites. When... I don't remember which book it was that you were doing a reading for, but we drove out to
Long Beach, I believe. Yeah.
Right, because the lady at the Long Beach Barnes and Noble's big fan, right?
Huge fan, and did me a favor. You want to tell the kids what the favor was?
Sure. No, it was like so. I go out there with Jerry that's when he had the big caddy.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, big black caddy.
Yeah, we're driving out in the big black caddy to Long Beach to go to a reading at a Barnes and Noble with Jerry's new book. Was it OG Dad or was it before that?
No, it was like Perv. Or,
Yeah. So we walk in, and the woman who runs the Barnes & Noble is all sort of like, we're so excited you're here. And then we get there, and she says, some of the employees set up this display for you. And it was basically, Jerry's 3 or 4 books, and then all the seasons of Alf on one shelf,
and
right?
stuffed animals.
Oh, and some stuffed animals.
Yeah.
And just to see him just take that in and try to be gracious. And I think what you said was like, that's great. It's better because they might have mistaken what I did as literature before this. So
they might have mistaken me for a serious writer. Yeah.
Alf's all over the
place. I'm glad you were there for that.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah. That's
and then the other thing I'll share, and I don't think it's oversharing, because I think it was a pretty good thing to say when you told me. Now explain to me how...
There is no oversharing.
Yes, there is.
It's what we do.
And it's certainly what I do. But now tell me what happened with the golf ball that hit your windshield.
Oh my God! I'm driving.
Where was that though?
That was I think at the Beverly Hills, Beverly Wilshire Country Club.
Oh, so it was around there?
Yeah, it was right on Beverly Boulevard.
So you're assuming that's where it came from?
They paid for my window. They assumed that too.
Were you on the property or you?
No, you just drive down Beverly Boulevard and these golf balls come fucking sailing out of the sky, smashes my windshield as I'm driving.
And when he told me that story, I said, if only the things that only happened to you were good things.
That is such an apt description, yeah. But on the plus side, I needed a new windshield.
Oh, good. Well, then it all worked out. Sometimes kismet, right? Is that what the word is?
It's kismet. Yeah. It's a mitzvah.
It's what's that thing they say in the meeting sometimes where
coincidence?
It's a God shot. It's a God shot. Those fucking idiots. This is sort of like, I found a parking place right out front. It's a God shot.
It's a God shot.
No, it's not. He's got better things to do. Look.
Yeah, I don't know that God's thinking about it. You know?
I don't even want to get into that discussion.
That's
I did come up.
Discussion.
I got to tell you the thing I came up with.
Yeah.
I can tell them. It was funny this morning because I had to check it out. I came up with a bit on the way to the Comedy Store last night, but it was like, to me, it seemed like a bit that someone else could have thought of. Mm-hmm. But I only knew a couple of comics that could have thought of it and would have done it.
Yeah.
So this morning I think of this bit, and I do it twice on stage last night, some version of it or what it's going to be. And I text Dave Cross immediately because, like, in my mind, he's the only other guy currently that would do a joke kind of like this. Mm-hmm. And I also texted Laurie Kilmartin to run it by them to make sure they hadn't heard it before. And the bit was like, I was thinking about how do I approach, how do you approach things like the abortion thing and the gun thing? Because like I've always done stuff. There's always a joke that without it being self-righteous or too overbearing. And then I just came up with this thing on the way to the comedy store. I'm like, well, I think it's a branding problem. Like, I think all women should obviously have a right to choose. And I think that there's really no fighting with these Christians about, what they believe. But I think there is a branding problem to because the idea of abortion clinic, I mean, that's very clinical. It's kind of heavy. And I just think maybe if we started calling them angel factories.
That is so beautifully wrong.
That maybe they'd look at it differently, and instead of like picketing, out in front of these abortion clinics, well, no, they would you could have a counter on the outside of the clinic whenever an abortion happens. It's like, and then they would just applaud. They'd be and they'd wave.
As the angel ascends.
Yes, angel factories.
I think you're in the wrong business.
Oh, you think that should be a real thing?
Well, I think you could have been in advertising.
Sure.
I mean,
I still can.
There's still time. You're still young.
But it got one of those kind of laughs of people just sort of like, what's happening?
I love going to the comedy store with you because I sit in the back and I just watch people. And there's people who look at each other and it's like, if I laugh, will she not fuck me tonight?
Yeah, right. Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's always a problem. It's not a date night show when you come to the Marc Maron.
Yes and no, because if you really bond, you are bonded.
Yeah.
And it takes some,
Yeah.
Takes some.
That's true. You learn some things about each other. So Dave Cross, he basically said, no, I've never done that, and I'm jealous. And Lori Kilmartin said she didn't either. Dave was excited about it. It's a very exciting thing to come up with something so twisted that
it is,
it's going to break a brain or two.
But it's also so simple and so of course.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I thought it's like a hack line. Everyone's doing everyone's doing the angel factory
isn't that
bit.
The mark of like a real genius line? It's like it sounds obvious.
The logic,
but it's brilliant.
The logic is correct. It's obviously a little wrong-minded, but the logic works. So, like, even for a believer, the logic works.
That's right.
And that's the best part.
Well, that's the genius part.
That's the best part.
Your Christian fans will wholly embrace it.
Oh, they'll love it. Are you kidding? I might change the whole paradigm on this thing. So, Jerry is going to be in New York City. He's going to be in New York City on Sunday, June 12th at 7:30 p.m., with Ben Stiller at the 92nd Street Y. Ben's going to interview Jerry about the new book, 999, out in July, and other stuff. They'll have a conversation. They're best buddies. And I'm interviewing. Well, I'm not going to do the interview now. Maybe we'll do an event here. Maybe me and Jerry closer to the date. He's going to do the podcast, and I imagine, I'm not swinging my dick around here, but I think that more people will probably hear the podcast that won't be at the 92nd Street Y, which is why you should go. If you're in the New York area, I should do these kind of promotions all the time. What did Crazy Eddie used to say on those commercials? Remember, he's like, remember Crazy Eddie? I'm Crazy Eddie. Anyway,
yeah.
But
Crazy Marc.
Yeah. So it's 92ny.org for
Correct.
Tickets, and that's
online or in person, depending on how you roll.
Well, if they sell out, there's not going to be any in person, or do they save something? Either way,
I don't know how it works.
Sunday, June 12th, Ben Stiller and Jerry Stahl at the 92nd Street Y, 7:30, talking about Jerry's career and life, and it'll be funny. You're both funny. Ben's funny.
That's a seriously funny cat.
Very funny.
Yeah.
He's
serious, but deadly funny.
I think he's one of the best physical comedians around. There's a couple of guys that can just if you watch The Thing About Mary and just watch the commitment of his physical comedy.
Yeah,
it's fucking awesome. Oh, yeah, it's great.
But also witty as fuck.
Yeah, it takes a special timing to do the physical thing. Anyway, so now what's going to happen is I'm going to go cut this watermelon that Jerry brought me. That's my payment for this plug we're doing.
Nothing's for free in this world.
That's what I hear. And we're going to go. Are we going to go on the hike?
It's called gratitude, Marc. Yes, we're going to go.
Is this your hiking clothes? The all black?
It's blue. Yeah, it's my shorts are in the wash. What can I tell you?
I've never seen him. I've known him for years. I've never seen a pair of shorts on this. Some guys just won't wear them. You just don't ever. Have you ever?
I kind of got the chicken legs, and
but have you ever worn shorts in your life?
I think my mother made me when I was a child.
So
and then
you're one of those
subsequently
guys.
mocked me.
Yeah, you're one of those. Put these shorts on. Look at you,
Look at you.
fucking clown.
Yeah.
The only other guy I know that doesn't wear shorts, a grown man, is Tracy Letts. Letts won't no shorts.
I love that.
Yeah. He saw me in shorts and he was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like,
where's your dignity?
yeah, exactly. We're going. All right. So thank you, Jerry.
Thank you. And
All
thank
right.
Tracy.
Yes, Buddha face.